Welcome back, everyone, to Shanghai. In a few short minutes, we'll be starting round 7 of the ZOWIE DIVINA Women's Invitational PUBG Tournament. It was a very, very exciting first one. I mean, I can say that. I'm assuming I can speak for you guys while I say that. On the desk, I have with me Garrett and Esquire for round 7 for the second round of the day.
Yeah.
What are we hoping for? I don't necessarily want to say expecting because, you know, anything can happen. But as far as what these players are going to be doing, we saw their adjustments from day one. We saw a huge adjustment starting off today. How are we expecting or hoping to see that continue on?
I'm looking for exactly the same type of strategies, exactly the same type of gameplay that we saw in Game 1 of the day, Game 6 of the tournament. It was exciting as hell to be able to watch that kind of unfold. The girls, the women, they brought the action. Let's just say that.
Yeah. Here's the leaderboard right now. Overall, it is Sunny in the lead with Charlie and Tanya tailing close behind, but it's actually starting to drop off from there. Shiyu was really close to these top 3 players in the very beginning of the day, but she did have an unfortunate first game going out below 10th. I believe it was around 15th to 17th or so, if I can remember correctly. And doesn't have nearly as many kill points overall, even as Tanya, who of the top 3 is we are considering the least aggressive of all of them. So there's actually starting to be a tier of just the top 3 leaving everyone else behind.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to be outside the top 3, obviously, because if you look at the score right now, the 4th place is a whole win away in terms of the standings. So I want to see who's going to be the next one to step up, who's going to try to close the gap, because we see from 4th to 8th, they're in striking distance, but even below that, I know a lot of these players here are very skilled. They're just not finding the right circles or whatever it is, unfortunate circumstances. But the change that they're going to make going forward to really step up and try to close the gap between the top 3.
What's the breaking point that a player needs to look at the scores, needs to look at these games, and really start to adjust their play style? Because for a lot of these players, and even on your screen right now, like 17 and below, it's not enough. You want to be top 8 to receive any sort of prize money from this, as well as just, you know, feeling victorious. You want to get as high as possible. At what point do these players need to make a significant adjustment?
It's a good question because it's right now. After the first game of day number 2, this is where you sort of know exactly where you stand. Like Garrett said, you're starting to see the separation on the leaderboards, and you got to be thinking. You got to be keeping an eye on the kill feed, seeing what names are going to be going out first, what names you're not seeing, expecting what you're going to be running into in the late game.
Still a player with 0 kills. Still Kira with 0 kills. I'm waiting to see when that'll change.
She's actually one of the ones that dropped, I believe, near docks, and I'm like, oh no. I'm like, if anyone that doesn't know, that's like my favorite spot to drop. I'm like, whoever dropped there is gonna win, and so far not the case.
So far, it's been pretty much the exact opposite.
Well, here's the deal. I mean, you talked about it sort of mildly, right? But there's 48 women, very skilled. But in this lobby, the nature of PUBG is only one person can walk away with the chicken dinner. 47 players have to go out, and some of them are going to be last.
I mean, that is the nature of it, but obviously you don't want to be last. Someone's got to be a loser. You're correct. Yep. But no one wants to be the loser.
Of course not.
So it's always about
show me the person that wants to be a loser. It's not going to be easy to find.
A masochist.
There you go.
It's like a weird psychological masochist who enter competition strictly to go last. Anyway, this is
they learn. That's the thing you can take from it. But either way, this is like you mentioned before. This is the game where something's got to change. Either the strategy, whatever it is, drop. So many different variables you can make to change right now to have that basically turn around for you. Yeah. It's just kind of curious what it's going to be, and most likely the edge of the circle is still being a little bit of a problem, not compared to the first day as much. So again, you're seeing the people that are in the top of the leaderboard. They're the ones in the middle of the circle. So maybe more will shift that way if it continues out.
Well, we have 5 seconds until the plane is going to launch, so I'm going to take another step back once again and give it to you two fine gentlemen to take away round number 7 of ZOWIE DIVINA Women's Invitational.
That's exactly right. Thank you, Cameron Davis. Round number 7. We are almost approaching that halfway point of the tournament. And like we said on desk, if you haven't thought about it yet, now is the time to start looking at what kind of performance you need throughout the rest of the tournament to try to land yourself in the money in those top few positions on the global leaderboards. But with that, Garrett, let's get this match underway. Straight out of Tambang in the western side of the map, a steep angle up here towards the north.
the playing path is going down the direction of where most of the people on this in this event so far do drop. You don't see too many going towards the southeast, towards docks. Beside, we saw Kira do it a couple times.
Garrett, you can pray and pray and pray, and no one is going to be going to those docks.
This is the game. I bet you right now this is the game. If you go to docks and you take that path and you just slowly glide in, that circle is going to be shifting southeast. I'm telling you, this is the game. I'm praying, but I hope it's the case.
Chat, I'll let you know if Garrett starts jumping up and down in celebration, but we have to wait and see, will anyone be going there? And for the time being, it looks like no one will be opting to go all the way down here towards the southeast.
And look at this boot camp, wide open. This is the first game. No one's in there. Yaza is in the compound. She was there against. I don't remember who it was against per se.
That's the Yasa warehouse.
Yes, but now she's there alone. No one into boot camp. This is the change. So a lot of these ladies have decided to abandon boot camp, find new loot spots. Except for obviously the circle didn't go where I wanted to. But either way, there's been changes now. People have made the adaptations. So now we can see, is there going to be more to it besides just the job spots?
I mean, I hope so.
I do hope so, too.
Certainly hope so, as we're starting to see everyone kind of finding those positions. Everyone's still a little bit dangerously close to one another, and that's just sort of hard to avoid here with 48 other players, 48 enemies rather on the map, as we're now looking at Sunny. She's going to be looting up here in the buildings dangerously nearby to where Mamataso is looting up as well. Mamataso has a Tommy gun to her name, a Tommy gun versus a Vector M16 on the back of Sunny as well, but no helmet, so one nicely placed shot with the 45 ACP round could possibly take down Sunny.
Mamataso being the duo teammate of Sunny winning that first event, I was expecting a lot more from her so far early in this tournament for the solos. She is very skilled, and now you can see an early battle coming in with Sunny. She does hear it coming in, and there you go. Mamataso getting the first kill of the game. That's going to be something that she's going to be looking to build upon because, again, not the greatest start in the first day, but she does have the skill to be up there in the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Mamataso had nothing but that Tommy gun, able to pick up now an M16 and a Vector. That's going to give her the tools that she needs to push on as a more lethal threat here in game number 2 of day 2 for the Divina ZOWIE Women's Invitational PUBG Tournament in Shanghai, China, as Yamroll continues on this loot path. No one else in this compound right now, as Coney will be departing off here to the south.
Yeah, Coney just ran completely by that compound. I'm not sure if Yamroll even saw her, but Coney just, I don't even know if she has a weapon because she just looks like she's bolting it, maybe trying to get early position on this circle. That's one of the adaptations we talked about that could be coming in from these players, so maybe she's trying to get an early jump on it.
That is exactly right. Up here in Cal, we've got Kakao and Yelena looting up here, a little bit separated. Right, they got some room to work with, a little bit of a buffer zone to safely pick up that armor, that helmet, and possibly even some guns to boot. As everyone is just trying to find their position, starting to possibly think about where they're going to go inside circle number 1, which has at least nicely landed pretty much center of Sanok.
Yeah, everyone's going to be safely within the circle on the entering the phase 2. The only difficult thing to go forward is the fact that the northwest side of the map is going to be on the shorter end of the stick. And either way, moving in, we got Mamataso. She's going to be having the second fight, but look at this. Someone is there. Look at it. Yeah, Matthew be in there camping. She has no idea. Matthew's going to have the element of surprise here. Just when is she going to go out and take the shots?
Yeah, hopefully not anytime soon is what Menthea is saying, but she's going to be lying in wait. She's got her gun trained on the left-hand side of the door, waiting for the body of Mamataso, whoever opens that door, to sort of shift over to avoid those lines of sight. She's hearing the footsteps full well. She knows that there is an enemy threat in that exact same building, as Miss Gucci will be making a departure of her own from her loot location, crossing these wide open areas. No helmet on Miss Gucci either, so she's in a very vulnerable position if anyone would be to get those nice shots, and those shots are going to be coming out right now, taking Miss Gucci down to about 70 HP.
Yeah, Matthew's showing a lot of patience and gets rewarded. We talked about this again in the first game. You're trying to get that hot start. You're trying to get some momentum behind you, and to die like that, how did that play on your mentality going forward in these future games?
Right. It's something we've talked about time and time again. PUBG, it's a game of a lot of things, one of those being mental stamina, how you sort of handle these situations. It's a long game. That player, Mamataso, is going to have to sit here for the better part of 20 more minutes thinking about that mistake and how they're going to adjust their gameplay going forward. And you got to stay strong. You can't let these things affect you. And we are seeing Miss Gucci picking up a wonderful level 3 crate, the helmet, the armor, as well as possibly a nice, powerful gun to boot.
Yeah, much needed for her, especially since she was the one that had no helmet or anything going forward. So she actually did get the crate with Smitty nearby. And we're back to see Cal as well. And Cal here, looks like Elena is just going to run away. No engagement's going to be happening. The blue is moving in. Looks like everyone's going to be safely within the next circle. Where is it going to shift? It's going to be the tricky question. You want to basically put yourself in a position to rotate over as best you can. Miss Gucci does hear Smitty, though. She had the crate picked up. Still electing with the AK, though, which is kind of curious.
Yep, Miss Gucci's got that level 3 kit. Going to be looking over at Sminty, who has got a level 2 helmet, opening the door, going to be revealing her position. Wide open to Miss Gucci, spraying her down with the AKM. A nice headshot. Will be taking out Sminty in 46th position, but immediately thereafter, Miss Gucci started feeling some pressure from up top of the hill from Elizabeth.
You know Sminty's going to give it to her after the game. They are friends. They've been gotten close throughout this event, and to die like that, there's going to be some talks going on later on tonight.
Better to die from your friend than someone you don't even know.
I disagree with you on that one.
Okay,
I don't want to die
enough.
from a friend because you know they're going to talk smack.
Yeah, especially if they're on the same flight home. That's going to be that's going to be a long one. Looking over at your friend saying, "Why did you take me out?" But Elizabeth once again up from the hill, going to be spotting out Paleo Light with the QBU, takes her down and out, and immediately thereafter, Lele picks up a nice mutant kill on Karina. The action, it's been a little bit more fast-paced here in game number 2.
Yeah, picking up on the same thing as going on day 1. The kills coming in early. Want to seize that more aggressive pace, not the slow one. Paulie, I don't know if she knows there's someone beneath her, but this could get tricky.
This is the second time we've seen Paulie on these cliffs on the riverbed looking for a player's position, but will she be able to this time find it?
Ito being very patient as well, just staying down there. No, she is up there, but if she does make the move, Paulie will be able to hear the footsteps. Paulie be looking over. Does she spot her?
So close. Paulie narrowly avoiding that line of sight given down to Eto, just a few, maybe 1 or 2 meters below her right now, but she certainly hears the footsteps of Paulie just above her as she's going to be continuing on here, but looking over, going to be spotting her out, didn't have the reaction time, and that's going to be Eto walking away with a nice QBZ kill here in the early parts of game number 2.
So unfortunate, Paulie. You're trying to get the momentum going. You had to die like that to Ito, just chill on the rocks. I don't think she knew that she was there. But in the end, she did have a good position. Ito's going to be picking up that much-needed loot going forward. She is going to be within the middle of the circle in a great position to play along the edges and maybe gatekeep anyone trying to come in through the river. Still close enough to the boot camp for some shelter if she needs it as well. Again, in a very good spot going forward to have good placement.
Yep, about 1 minute and 15 seconds until phase number 2 will start to begin that blue zone transition towards circle number 2. So a bit of repositions have to come out from the remaining 42 players on the map. And it's going to be interesting to see where everyone will be going. Certainly, everyone wants those center positions, but will they be able to get there easily? We'll have to wait and see as Miss Gucci makes her own trek. Still has that level 3 helmet, 1 kill already this game on top of Sminty, rolling up here on the hill where 2 enemies are lying in wait.
Looks like we're going to have one of those rock battles coming in through again. Vendeka is prone. Does hear Miss Gucci running by. Vendeka has going to be on iron sight again. When you have that situation, you want the loot. So you want to be a little more aggressive to pick up the much-needed items. But it looks like she's going to just let it run by and just play for the late game.
Yep, not a bad decision given the fact that Miss Gucci has that very strong level 3 kit as well as she continues on here over towards the west, trying to find a position that suits her well here in phase number 2 of the second game of day number 2 here in Shanghai, China.
River coming into play on this next circle. Decide which side of the river you want to be on. You do want to get on the east side. It is the safer route, but it doesn't leave out the possibility of a hard shift towards the southwest. Sunny here, number 1 on the board, trying to find her way into a good position. She likes to play the outskirts of the compounds. You don't see her too much in a sheltered house, anything like that. Plays the rocks in the open, so she has more availability to maneuver as she pleases.
Yeah, and I like how she maneuvers around the hills, avoiding those window line of sights from every compound that she passes. But Miss Gucci going to be rolling up right there, gets spotted out, has no opportunity to return fire, and with a few shots from the AKM, Nui's going to be picking up her first kill of game 2.
As we see, Sunny here, we're going to be running in potentially into Little Big Whale. Another very skilled player here in this tournament. Does spot her, electing to take the early shots. It does give up position, so now she does know, Little Big Whale does know that Sunny is behind her. Sunny is aggressive. She has no... Oh, look at that. Takes out the kill, Little Big Whale. Unfortunately, dropping down early once again. Sunny getting up another kill, trying to get the on par with Majesty Charlie with the kills.
Here's the thing. Sunny started pushing up right there. Little Big Whale had the cover to work with, and Sunny, knowing full well, stopped wide in the open, relying fully on her aim skill to walk away with that kill, eliminate the threat, and now find a position that is safe to call home.
Yeah, it just shows you how confident she is in her abilities to be doing something like that, and aggressiveness in the open to push up like that is quite impressive.
Oh boy, here's another play that we've seen plenty of. One player on a rock, going to be hearing the footsteps of Anakin, turns around, Cap Nam with the barrel, 7.62, lands those nice shots, the damage being applied, and the player going down.
Something I wanted to bring up with you as well, you see those situations where Sunny spots someone far away in the distance. You have the option to take those early shots, and if you don't knock them down right away, then now your position's given up, or do you want to use potentially the cover, move up in a better position? There's different things you can go, and she elected to go with that early fight. What's your opinion on that one?
Well, for Sunny, I respect it. Sunny doesn't miss many shots, and that's something that she's shown us throughout the course of these 2 days that we've been playing out. So you got to give it to her. She took the opportunity. Sometimes, though, you don't have enough time. Sometimes things are just off, and that's what we saw. But nonetheless, she did walk away with the kill. Phase number 3 going to be in full effect here. About 1 minute and 15 seconds that these players have until the blue zone will start to force those shifts if they haven't made them already. And Sunny is going to be continuing on this warpath, maneuvering her way through several different enemy threats and terrain to try to find a better spot inside of circle number 3.
Yeah, Sunny covering a lot of ground here. Just keeps on running, trying to find the best positions, using the elevation of the terrain. Constantly moving, and that's one of her trademarks. She wants to get into the best position possible where the new circle pops, but now she's going to be running into Newsy.
She's always mobile. That's the big takeaway for Sunny. Knew he's going to be spotting her out, spraying her down, finds the connections with the AKM, and down goes Sunny. The leaderboards are going to be a little bit open for now the remaining 38 players on the map to start to at least combat that point differential between first place and wherever they sit.
Yeah, it's going to be huge for Majesty Charlie and Tanya to now be able to have those points potentially to get a bigger lead on Sunny going forward. But at the same time, having the players that don't have the points have that ability to get a little bit closer, to claw a little bit on the leaderboard as well. That's going to be interesting to see who's going to be able to take advantage.
Oh, yeah, and this is what I talked about. You got to think that Majesty Charlie as well as Tanya are watching the kill feed and seeing Sunny go out. This gives them the motivation. Play a little bit passively. Don't go out early. Whatever you do, give them that opportunity to climb the leaderboards and catch them up as Ting going to be spotted out by Vendetta around the right side of the rock, taken down and out in 38th place.
Yeah, Majesty Charlie and Tanya going to be frothing at the mouth, knowing as you see she gained the kill on Cece there, picking up the first of the game. You see the package come in. Oh, the much coveted MK14. Level 3 out of your mind 4 times. That's one of the best crates you can get on this map.
Yeah, certainly one of the best crates you can get on this map. But the question comes down to, if you've got a QBU, do you opt into taking it over the MK14, or do you take the MK? The MK, notoriously the best DMR on Erangel and Miramar. Will it be favored here by the women today on Sanhok?
Yeah, it just comes down to basically the preference, right? It's just such a powerful gun. It's kind of hard to not give up the QBU in favor of that weapon, but in the end, it just comes down to what you're comfortable with.
Yep, absolutely. You gotta stick to comfort, what you've been practicing with, and you can't always rely on those crate guns, so you can appreciate when some players opt to leave them behind. As Smile Queen gonna be spotting out Shiyu with a nice SKS shot, suppressed as well, masking her position, picking up her first kill of the game.
That's another situation we talked about before with Sunny. Do you take that fight, or do you use that knowledge of moving in? And you see another close quarter fight coming in here. Oh, there you go. Now you see Calp and them taking out Kira.
We saw the setup, and then we saw the finish.
And then we saw the query.
Kalpad Nam now trying to combat some of this blue zone damage, recovering from this fight, getting the first aid off before she has to make her own path over here towards the west. But it's going to be Hella now taking some fire from Doopsy, trying to make her own rotation down south. As Doopsy going to continue to just hang out inside of the building. She got here early on, and why give up this cover? Why give up this position if you don't have to?
Yeah, exactly. And see Cal moving on the rocks there. Sven on the blue once again. We saw her in the first game take the boat all the way around the islands. Electing, that's clearly her strategy. Go into blue, take your time, try to find out the best path coming in. But now she's going to be walking in to the sights of Seacal coming up here. New circle popping, and in the middle, look at that. You got 7 players already in the middle of the circle.
Yeah, absolutely. It's already going to be a crowded circle. A lot of players have to make rotations across the river. One of the extreme choke points on Sanhok, and Cacao going to be spotted out, but quickly snaps around, turns it, and gets the nicely placed headshot with the M416 on top of Zyvan.
New circle popping. Tanya and Majesty Charlie going to be outside looking into My Hero Prone. Once again, Samson trying to find her way into a better position, not knowing that she is there lurking in the shadows.
Tanya has a lot to worry about as well, pushing up here on the hill. Two-May going to be there, Sanson as well. Some deadly threats presenting themselves on the western side of phase number 4, but that's going to be Tanya Kikanya pushing up here on the rock. Her footsteps have given away the position to Two-May, who is lying patiently in wait, waiting for the window of opportunity to spray down one of our top leaders on the global leaderboards.
And Tanya's in a tricky situation. Two-May is electing to be very passive, not trying to take the fight, but Tanya did spot someone in the distance. She keeps moving forward. Two-May's going to be losing her opportunity here to get a kill. And again, not completely set up with everything. Tanya is squeezed between 3 players here. Very dangerous. And this could be very something good for Majesty Charlie going forward.
Yeah, also good for Tanya is the fact that no one else wants to take those shots, don't want to reveal their position just yet. As we see Nono Mia trying to recover from some of this damage she took from the 7.62 rounds of Cowpad Nam's barrel. But the grenades are now being prepped and ready. Underhand right now. Now overhand to get that distance on the left side of the rock. Going to be trying to flush out Nono Mia around the left side of the rock. Narrowly missed any of that damage as she continues to try to get these meds rolling. No first aid to her name. Trying to spray down Cowpad Nam with just a sliver of HP. She's able to come out with a kill.
Yeah, use that nade to mask the sound of her running around trying to change the position, but Nono Mia just coming up huge with the kill there. Still in the blue, needs to find a good place to move into the circle. Going to have a clear path. Moving on to Lizzie here, facing off against Matthew. Matthew playing far back as well. Lizzie moving on up towards Helen, who's going to be waiting.
Everyone is riding the edge, and all of these fights that we're seeing, everyone trying to make their way from outside in, they're facing off against so many different obstacles by virtue of how many players were inside of phase number 4.
Yeah, when this circle collapses, there's a lot of players on the outside looking in still. It's going to be a bloodbath going into phase 5. See Tanya here doing what she does best. She's chilling, waiting for everyone to take each other out, but this one's lasting a lot longer than normal.
Yep, chilling, waiting to take people out, but look at Sanson's position, looking right up the hill, anticipating someone to come over. And if Sanson continues to hold this with the AKM, she's going to be finding herself a nice kill as more and more action pops off around the map. Helen going to be pushing up. Mask immediately going to be taken out by Majesty Charlie, picking up her first kill of the game. But the blue zone is going to be almost finished with that shrink. Phase number 5 will be in full effect here in a matter of 5 seconds.
Yeah, everyone's still working the edges. You do have the players in the middle that are going to be comfortable, but the edges are going to be so much under pressure. Lizzie moving on up, running by an enemy, not knowing there. She's going to get shot in the back.
Going to be shot in the back. A hard shift up to the north for phase number 5. Mathia facing off against a world of trouble, trying to combat that blue zone damage. And Tanya Kikanya going to be taken out by Sanson in the kill feed. That is going to be one of our top leaders on the global leaderboards, taken out fairly early here in game number 2 of the day, game number 7 of the tournament.
This is the opportunity every other player in the game needs. This is now where you can climb the leaderboard and close the gap. We talked about who is going to be the ones that are going to be stepping up to do that. This is going to be the game that's going to be key going forward.
And if you're Majesty Charlie, you see that happen in the kill feed, you are going to be pushing on now, trying to do whatever you can to rack up as many points as possible because it is going to be worth a ton. But no, in the kill feed, Majesty Charlie going to be taken down. Our top 3 players on the leaderboards have gone out early on here in this game. It is starting to open up just a little bit for all of the other players, all other 45 players here on the stage to rack up those points, try to climb up the leaderboards.
Yeah, and the circle hard shifted here. Elizabeth going to be taking on Helen. Oh my God, I can't believe Elizabeth had the jump on it, but Helen's going to be dying to the blue. Unfortunate. Everyone's trying to find their way into the new circle. Everyone's going to be taking out Sanson as well. Newsy has the compound. She has the best position going forward now in the next circle.
This hard shift up to the north was not friendly to a majority of this lobby. A great migration coming up from the south as Yasa still inside of boot camp. Her original drop location, holding it down, defending it very well, keeping every other enemy at bay, although not able to rack up any kills just yet.
Yeah, that boot camp corner is going to get a lot tricky. Everyone has a lot of cover moving into this next one. Vendeka getting taken out by Newsy. Again, in this compound all alone, but if you look at the southern part of the map, everyone is crowded.
My 2 going to be spotting out Hella, trying to make that push, trying to avoid the blue zone damage, with at this point in time is going to start chunking you down. And this next circle has pretty much gone almost center from the previous phase, phase number 5, and it's not going to be friendly. A lot of transitions have to come out, and if there's one thing we know about transitions in competitive PUBG, it's the most vulnerable position that you never want to be in.
Yeah, everyone has no time to think about the next strategy and the path they want to take. The circle is going to be moving in 15 seconds. Everyone on the outside looking in beside Newsy. going to be Nade, No Maya as well. There's going to be a fight coming on here. Newsy has the best position in the game in the compound. No Maya's trying to move early, get into a better position, but could potentially be running into Yelena.
And here's the thing I'm starting to think about. Will any of the players on the outskirts of this circle try to rush in and enter into the building where Newis is currently holding on to? She's in a position to get the drop on her enemies if so, but it's going to be Doopsy spawning out Saki with some nice spray on the border of the blue zone, taking her down and out.
Yeah, it's going to see mayhem happening at the boot camp here. There's still a little bit of the corner of the boot camp in play. Doopsy trying to find a way in, but look at Newsy. She's trying to make sure she protects her blind side, not allowing anyone to move up on her from behind. She is going to try to play. She has a great angle on anyone trying to move in, but the smoke is going to be giving her cover now. She's going to be vulnerable.
She is going to be vulnerable. Now New is starting to apply some pressure. She can't sit back passively and just wait for her enemies to get close enough to the compound to avoid the lines of sight. And she's doing it beautifully right now, putting out grenades, putting out smokes as well, trying to do whatever she can to apply the pressure. 5 kills so far this game. Will she be able to continue on, rack up that kill count, possibly even beat the 8-kill record that has been set by Majesty Charlie?
A great game so far. The new circle coming in, shifting towards the northeast. No Maya is already in the circle. Everyone outside looking in. Newsy is going to be in an interesting position where she can leave now early to get into the next building to be in the safe zone, or she wants to maybe watch the blind side, make sure she follows Doopsy coming in from behind and get the extra frag and get those 10 points.
Here's the thing. Up until this point of the game, buildings can be a saving grace for these players. But at this stage, when you have to shift out, it could be your downfall if you get caught out by one of the players outside looking at these exit points. As Newis continues to look on, she knows that Doopsy is right across from her. Nonomiya going to be taking out nice shots by Lele with the mutant headshot in the kill feed, leaving just 3 players remaining in the final moments of round number 2 of day 2 for the ZOWIE DIVINA Women's PUBG Invitational.
Yeah, Lele getting that nice pick on Nonomiya. That opens her path now to get in the circle, but she doesn't know that. But Newsy and Doopsy are going to be having a battle here one-on-one. Doopsy has no meds. Newsy now is bringing it down to a one-on-one. She has a free path into the next compound there. Lele is now running into the circle off the information of that fight.
Grenade's going to be coming out now. Lele putting out pressure, trying to set the landscape for the battlefield. The final moments of this game, just past that 22-minute and 45-second mark as Newis tries to prep as well, getting those boosts rolling, trying to met up as much as possible. But the blue zone will be starting to apply that pressure on the back of Newis, forcing her to vault inside of the building and now look onward, trying to see if she can get a good spot on her remaining enemy threat left on the map.
It's an interesting circle that just popped because now Newsy is going to be able to still be safe in the compound. But Lele, look at that, deciding to take it into her own hands and going for the flank.
Going for the flank now outside of the exact same building. These 2 players on opposite ends trying to look, trying to spot out where that enemy threat is. Inside of the building will be Lele. New is going to be hearing the footsteps as well, lying in wait patiently, doesn't want to give away the position. Throwing grenades out will be Lele, trying to get that pressure out, but it's not going to be felt by Newis just yet. The level 3 helmet going the way of Newis as well. She's got the advantage, at least for the time being.
The aggressiveness by Lele right now is incredible. You don't see that happen very often in one-on-one situations with someone just saying, you know what, screw it, I'm going to rush her. This is a completely insane play by Lele, but it's going to be able to pay off because she has a great off angle.
Full confidence being displayed here by Lele, but will these players be able to spot each other out under the stilts of this building? Lele going to be looking, possibly spotting out Newis. By the matter of deduction, she has now figured out where Newis is around the right side. It's going to be Newis through the staircase, takes her down and out, securing that chicken dinner here in game number 2.
It looks like she's about to have a heart attack. It just scared her, but that was an absolutely incredible game. Absolutely
so
incredible.
Happy right now. The emotions are high. Every player has a different reaction for a game-winning moment, and she is going to be so happy.
7 kills. It wasn't the record, but that is still a really
very impressive.
Big number of kills there, and that was such an exciting ending there.
It really was.
I couldn't believe that move that Lele pulled out. Normally in one-on-one situations, you just chill and you wait and you play back and you wait for someone else to make the mistake. But she just completely went YOLO and took it into her own hands.
Well, what Lele recognized was that the building had more cover closer towards the center, and she had to cross the road. That is as disparate as you can imagine of a situation as far as cover is concerned. And so she tossed a couple of smokes, and she actually did the really smart thing, the really efficient thing. Instead of making a smoke tunnel, she just smoked off the vision points. Similar thing that what I forget who it was that Nui's actually killed previously. Doopsy actually did to push into that compound.
Yes.
And then ran across it, went incredibly aggressive. And that sort of aggression isn't just pressure in the sense of, oh, someone is right on top of me. It's also pressure because when the other player, when you're in a one-on-one, is doing something aggressive, you are suddenly not in control of the situation anymore. And you can see at the very end, Nui's reaction to that, she was so, you could tell that she was incredibly frightened and nervous about that whole engagement. Her heart was probably beating out of her chest there, but she did end up coming on top. A very, very successful game for her.
Yeah, there's one thing that all players in competitive PUBG or just PUBG alone can relate to, and it's that pressure feeling, that pump, pump, pump of the heart when you're in that 1v1 situation.
So what I think is really exciting about this game, and actually both games so far, is that they've been really center on the map. Yesterday we saw a lot of fringe positions, not necessarily because of like significant hard shifts, but it was still a lot of sort of far sides of islands where the ending circle was, and this one's a lot center, and I was curious to see, here we got the replay coming out in front of you while we talk over it. But yeah, so while this is happening, the games have been center. Do you think that has been playing into the sort of more aggressive play that these women have been executing? Or is it also just kind of coincidental?
I mean, really, I think it just comes down to the comfortability of some of these players, the confidence that they have in this lobby, being able to display that now. I mean, it's coming across right now from a spectator perspective that they came to frag out, and they're doing just that.
Yeah, they're completely loosening up. It's after the first day, you get the nerves out of the way. Even though they did have the duos tournament, it's not the same thing. Now it's all on you. The first day, you're a little more aware of you're more afraid to make mistakes.
Yeah.
But now that they're behind in the leaderboard, you see them loosen up a little more, knowing that they have to make plays in order to catch up.
What's also impactful, reminded to by Shiyu's death there, is that a lot of the top members of the leaderboard went out incredibly early. All 4 of the top 4 went out before, I think, 25th place.
Yeah.
That's huge.
It is huge. It's huge as to what it is going to do on the leaderboards. We are absolutely guaranteed going to see at least a few different shifts on the top, maybe 10 placements.
So the fact that all 4 went out super early, though, does mean that those 4 are probably going to stay at the top. Not one isn't going to overtake the other one by a significant margin.
I do think, sorry, backing off that point, I do think Majesty Charlie, I think she got a little bit higher, so I believe she's going to leapfrog Sunny to get first place. But anyways, it's still going to be within the same range of each other.
Yeah, and more importantly, it's actually going to close that gap because we saw a pretty
Yes.
significant gap, even from 3rd to 4th and then 4th down below to everyone else. So that's going to even the playing field. And after looking at the leaderboard, a lot of these players are probably going to get a little more confident and say, okay, here's my window. It's not done yet just yet.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. I think if you're in one of those maybe 10 through 25th positions, you love what you saw in this game.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the movement game we talked about where you're waiting for the top players to go down early so you can have that climb and make a mistake for your own position. So now that it's happened right now to have going forward, now you want the second one to happen, and maybe it's going to be a domino effect. Maybe as they get a little bit less confident, who knows? Either way, the players that are not at the top of the leaderboard found some momentum now going forward.
Yeah, and that's actually really cool why it's good to see that happen in 2 games in a row. Both were center because it lost my train of thought. No, it's because it means that these players at the top who made it to the very end of the game the first round didn't this time. They didn't have the answer for the center of the circle. That anything can happen every single game, even if the circle is like the exact same, it could change at a moment's notice. One factor can completely mess everything up.
说为我们带来精彩专业的分析。那站在我身旁的是刚刚吃鸡的泰国选手，那也是所有我们中国玩家相当注目跟关心的一位选手 Newish。这边也是请 Newish 的镜头跟所有的朋友打一个招呼。
Successfully taking the chicken dinner just now.
Hi, 你好。
Wow, she can speak some Chinese, right?
Yes.
So what else? What else Chinese words can you say?
你好，我叫牛，我叫泰国人。
Wow, so cute. Okay, as we see, you didn't play very well yesterday, but you did a good job today. So what did you do last night to make you come back stronger for today?
จริงๆไม่ได้ทำอะไรเลยค่ะก็คือนอนน้อยกว่าปกติแค่นั้นเอง
She said that actually she do nothing. Actually, she sleep late than yesterday.
哦，那这边呢，其实我们看到 News 在昨天第一天的表现不是那么的出彩，但是在今天呢，刚刚他顺利的吃鸡了。那我就很好奇说，昨天回去之后，他是否做了一些调整？他说其实也没有特别去做什么调整，而且昨天也是挺晚睡的。但不管怎么样呢，今天还是取得了一个非常好的表现哦。那这边呢，我们也是想要就是了解一下啊，就是在刚刚最后的一个1v1关键的时刻，我们看到他选择呢是在原地等待蕾蕾，也就是刚刚拿到排名分第2名的选手来进行一个主动出击。他是等待的一方，他让对方主动出击。我想知道他当时为什么去做这样的一个决定。In the final circles, there are only 2 survivors, and as I see, she chose to wait instead of going out and looking for another opponent. Why did she make the decision?
ก็คือปกติแล้วบ้านเราคนไทยอะค่ะเขามักจะเน้นยิงมากกว่าซุ่มอยู่ที่บ้านนะคะพอดีว่าจากเมื่อวานนี้นิวสังเกตเห็นว่าพอมาเล่นที่นี่จริงๆแล้วเราไม่สามารถวิ่งยิงได้เลยเหมือนปกติได้เลยซึ่งคนที่เขาซุ่มอะเขาเหมือนกับว่าเขามีโพสิชันที่ดีกว่าเขาสามารถรอเราได้แล้วเขาสามารถยิงเราได้ก่อนเพราะฉะนั้นนิวก็เลยเอาลองปรับเอามาใช้ดูค่ะ
Back in Thailand, our style is to run and shoot. But when she came here, everybody just camped. So she changed her strategy. She tried to wait and shoot when she is sure enough.
好，其实他刚刚说到，在泰国玩的时候呢，大部分的选手，其实他的玩家也都是比较刚猛的一个风格哦，大家也是打得比较激进的。但是来到我们 ZOWIE DIVINA 之后呢，这边呢我们也是看到这几天呢，我们在 Divina 的各位选手，可能大家呢的倾向是比较喜欢苟一点点，打得比较保守一点点。这也就是为什么他在刚刚最后这个1v1的紧要关头，他也是选择一个比较保守的打法。Okay. Do you know there are a lot of Chinese audience? They are crazy for you. Do you know that? And would you like to say something to them?
ก็ขอบคุณนะคะบางคนที่ติดตามนิวรู้อยู่แล้วแต่ส่วนบางคนที่นิวไม่รู้ก็ขอบคุณมากๆนะคะแล้วก็นิวจะพยายามทำให้เต็มที่นะ
Thank you everyone for supporting her. Someone she already know that they support her, but someone she doesn't know. So she feel thank you very much for everyone who's supporting her.
好，他非常感谢大家的支持哦。当然有一些可能是呢，他有认识的朋友或是认识的粉丝，那有一些呢，可能是这一次来到这个比赛的现场呢才结识的粉丝。那不管怎么样，非常感谢大家的支持。那以上呢就是我们这一场的赛后采访，马上就把现场交还给解说老师。
Thank you very much, Pepper. And I love that interview because it's part of my own philosophy that sleep is important.
Yeah, but also her ability to adapt. I mean, that's
the
what
more.
she said.
You're right. That is the more important part.
Yeah, I mean, it was incredible to get the insight, right? She said back in her hometown, everyone runs and guns. Here, it's a little bit different, possibly because the stakes are so high. $15,000 are on the line. But she was able to change that play style like that, and it's paying off in spades.
Yeah, and she's not the only one who's actually expressed that. We've talked to a number of different players who have said the same thing of being really frustrated that they've come across so many people camping and hiding and playing safe. We got the scoreboard up in front of you, and this is just from the previous game. Newbies, of course, taking the lead overall after that victory with 7 kills in the first place with 190 points total. Lele and Nonomiya pulling up the rear, and I'm trying to scan this first page, and not a single player from the top 5, I don't think, is in the top 8 of this game. That is very unusual.
Yeah, Rachel got her first 2 kills of the game, or rather of the tournament, I believe, as well. She had 0 kills going into this game. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys.
I don't remember. I know Kira had 0. That's
okay,
about it.
Maybe I'm mistaken then. But anyways, I mean, it was an incredible game, and we're seeing the points that these players were able to accumulate. A huge lead, 190 points for Newies.
It's also important to look at the points there because at the very top of the previous page was 190 points. The very bottom was 75. So that goes to show how important it is, even if you only pick up a couple of kills on the way, how important it is to get as high as possible in placement. You can't rely just on kills. It's kind of it's the flip side of what we were talking about Tanya. We were kind of giving her a little bit of criticism about not picking up enough kills, but at the same time, you also have to recognize that you need kills, like you need placement as well as kills. It's a balance of getting both.
Yeah, we've seen the average on kills when you're at the top of the leaderboard, with the exception of a couple big games from Tanya and from Newsy there as well. You see majority of them are between 2 to 4 kills. So it's not a large chunk of points. It's going to be mainly on the placement and staying consistent in that regard. And that's going to be the way you want to be able to climb the leaderboard. The kill points are just going to be icing on the cake.
Well, it's kind of interesting as well. Here in China, they put a lot of emphasis in the culture on balance, and we're seeing that played out right here. It's got to be, like you said, Cameron, a balance of kills as well as placement points to try to climb up the leaderboards.
Something we also noticed in that game was the fact that we had the top of the leaderboard. We had Tanya, we had Madison, we had the players at the top. They were already in the circle, and they were safe. They made those moves early like they have been doing the whole time. The difference as well, they lost the battles. So we saw some of the lower, I wouldn't say lower skill, just lower in the standings.
Lower ranked.
Exactly. They won the battles this time. And now that you got that, and if you were the player that was able to take down one of the big dogs, now you can use that momentum going forward and, again, trying to climb that leaderboard.
Yeah, I am incredibly curious on what the points are going to look like overall after this game, because a lot of things are going to get jumbled up. But in the meantime, for game number 8, coming up next in just a short while, you said yourself that this game was kind of the breaking point for a lot of players to change up their style. That's only going to get even more stress onto them from here if their mix-up wasn't successful enough.
Yeah, here's what I would expect at least to see from here on out. The women who are on the bottom half of the leaderboards, they're going to be shifting up their style to play a little bit more aggressively because they have to, right? They've got to get that combination of kills and placements. It's not going to be enough just to sit back, try to camp it out, and wait for those placement points.
Yeah, well, we're going to see how all that turns out in just a few short minutes. We do have game number 8, game 3 of the day coming up shortly. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.